In this video, I'll show you how to delete information and insert labels. I'll also show you how to save and export the output file. I'm going to show you how to edit your file before showing you how to save it. However, it is important to note that you should save your output as you create it to ensure that you don't lose any of your work. Before you save or export the final output, you want to eliminate redundant or extraneous information. You also want to make sure that you have all the output needed to answer the lab questions. Inserting labels or titles is very useful for keeping track of your output. Let's start with deletion. To delete a table or graph, click on it to select it. A red arrow will appear next to the table to let you know that it has been selected. Next, right-click and select Cut. Any selected output will be deleted. You can also use this feature to cut and paste a table to a different location. Another way to delete selected output is to click on the Edit tab in the top left corner, and then click Delete from the drop-down menu. Make sure you have first selected the output that you want to delete. This will really delete the selection rather than cutting it. Notice that there is also a Cut option in the Edit menu. Sometimes you'll find that you've run the same procedure more than once, as you can see here. When this happens, it is usually faster and easier to delete the entire procedure's output than to select and delete parts of the procedure individually. When you look at SPSS output, notice that there is an index window on the left. This panel provides an outline of all the output you've produced. To delete the entire procedure, click on the yellow icon at the beginning of the list of output for that procedure. The entire procedure will be highlighted in blue. You can also see that the output to the right has been selected because each piece is surrounded by a box. Select Delete from the Edit menu, and the output is deleted. Now let's insert a title. The first thing you should add is a title for the output, to identify which lab assignment it is and who produced it. For any insertion, first determine where you want it to go. Then click on the nearest output. The label will be inserted directly below this point. Next, click on the new title icon from the menu bar. A new box will appear, marked by dotted lines. Set your cursor in the box and type in a title. Be sure to include your names. You would probably like the title to be at the very beginning of the file. The easiest way to accomplish this is to move whatever is above it down. This process is not unlike cutting and pasting in Word. Select the title that you want to move down, then select Cut from the Edit menu, or use the right-click option, and it is cut from the output. Select the insertion point for the text you just cut, then select Paste After from the Edit menu, or use the right-click option. Now the title is at the top of the output file, and all is right with the world. Adding subtitles is easier than adding the leading title because there's no moving involved. Just remember that all insertions go after the selected insertion point. Suppose you want to label a section of output as belonging to question 1. This subtitle goes before the frequencies heading, so you select the output title box as the insertion point. Insert the new subtitle by clicking on New Title from the menu. As before, a new text box appears, delineated with a dotted line. Place the cursor in the text box and type in your subtitle. Once you've checked the output for accuracy and redundancies and added your titles, you are ready to either save or export the file. Go to the File menu to see your options. Generally, you'll either save the output as an SPSS output file using Save As, or export it as a PDF or Word document. For either option, make sure that you have a storage device available. To save the file, click on Save As. This opens a window with options for where to save. This screen shows the available folders in the thumb drive main folder. But if this isn't the right folder, you can click here to expand your options. Note that the default file type is SPV, which is the file extension for an SPSS output file. If you want a Word document or a PDF, use Export instead of Save. To export the file, select Export from the drop-down File menu. The default file type is PDF, but if you go to the drop-down menu, you can see that there are several options, including Word. Let's assume that you want to save the file as a PDF. The file name box will generally show the destination folder for the file. If this isn't where you want the file to export, click on Browse to find the right destination. One thing to be aware of is that by default, SPSS will export all output, including notes, which are not visible when you look at your output. Most likely, you'll want to keep only the visible output, so click on All Visible. You may also want to save or export just one table or chart. To do this, make sure that you've selected the table or chart, then choose Selected to only save or export that selection. This comes in very handy when you're preparing for a presentation. And now you're ready to go out and have fun with SPSS.